Happy Wednesday, artists. This is Beth Cooper. Today we are working on baby animals. We're going to do a chick and we're going to do a bunny. So I hope you have your pencil sharpened. Make sure that it's ready to go. You've got your ink pen ready and you've got your eraser. All right, we're going to start with the chick. In order to make a chick, we're going to do a series of circles first to rough in the shapes of the body before we go back in and add the details. So for the body, we're going to do a big circle. Just do a circle like this. And then on top of it, you're going to do another circle that sort of intersects a little bit and it's smaller. This is sort of like drawing a snowman, like you used to do when you were in elementary school. But you only need 2 of them. And then because they don't have really fully formed wings, we're going to do some ovals on the side of the body like this, one on either side, just kind of the hint of a wing. And his legs also are going to be ovals, one on either side of the body. This kind of reminds me of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Those are the basic shapes that we're going to use for him. And then we're going to start adding our details in. Now for the head, this chick's head is turned just a little bit, and we're going to follow the curve of this circle, and we're going to create a little bit of a line like this, and then we're going to put the beak in. Okay, now this little curve here becomes the crawl, I think that's what it's called, on top of the head. And then we're going to do sort of a little heart shape, the top of the heart shape here. I'm going to make that beak go out a little bit more triangular like this. Okay? All right. Oh, it's the comb. That's what it's called, not a crawl. Okay, now, right where that point is, see we've got kind of 3 points going on here. Right where that middle point is, that's where you want to rough in the eyeball. And really, it's just a circle like this. And you might see a smaller one on the other side. It's not going to be a complete circle like that because his head is turned to the side. We don't get to see as much of that eye as we do of this one. And now let's go ahead and roughen the feet. The feet are going to be 2 straight lines down like this on either side, pretty thick. And then from there they have 3 toes, and they're pointy toes, so we're going to do triangles to make our pointy toes. And if it overlaps down there, that's okay. And that's how they stand on those 3 toes. Now, I'm going to finish the rest of this up with pen because the rest of it really is their fur, their fuzziness. They're not fur, I guess it's fluff. Before they get their feathers, they're just fluffy. So we're going to leave the rest of this until we get the bunny roughed in, and then we'll go back and do all of those together. Okay. For the bunny, we're going to start with his head, and it's going to be sort of a rounded triangle like we did with our butterfly above. And we're going to start here and do a rounded triangle like this. It's a little bit longer on these 2 sides than it is on this side. All right, and from that, we're going to do the chest. And the chest is going to go underneath it. It's just a circle, and it kind of goes through it, attaches a little bit. So it's not going to be completely underneath. You're going to kind of draw through that triangle that you did for the head. And then underneath that, or behind that I should say, in order to make his back and his back legs, his hind legs, we're going to do another big circle like this. So you see how they're all kind of interconnecting, but we're not going to use that part of it. We're going to erase those parts once we have it all drawn in. All right, so now down here at the bottom, we're going to do some ovals for his feet, like this. And one little foot is going to stick out over here like that. And then we're going to have a big leg that sticks out, and then a larger oval over here for his back foot. And of course we want to have his bunny tail. And the bunny tail it would be a complete circle if we could see all of it. We won't be able to see all of it. And then for his ears, these are a little bit more difficult. We need a long diamond for this one. And then we need a long triangle for this one. So let's do a diamond over here. See that shape? It's not quite a diamond. I rounded it off a little bit. And then on the other side, we need a triangle. Like that. Okay, so those are the basic shapes for our bunny. Now it's going to change up a little bit when we start drawing in our details, so let's follow that very carefully. We want to have a little space between the ears, and then the head is going to come down a little bit straighter than we had on our triangle before, and we're going to kind of cut that corner and bring it in, and then up and down again, and then out to the side. That's the basic shape of his head. And then that little space where we cut the corner, underneath it is his lip, and on top of it is his little bunny nose, and that's a triangle. Both of those are sort of triangles, one on top of the other, touching in the middle. All right, and then we're going to put right down here towards the eye, we're going to put an oval, not a true circle, but more of an oval, and that's going to create the eye. And if you'd like to do some little lashes, you can certainly do that. And we might have a little bit of an eye on the other side, not too much. That's going to be a really thin little oval so that you can see that there is an eye over there, but since it's not facing us, we don't get to see all of it. Now, the ear is pretty much the same shape that I drew here. It might have a little notch down here at the bottom, and a part of the ear flaps over like that. Okay. Now the other one is facing away from us. It's going to be more of a rounded triangle than what we've got going on here, and it tucks in right here and then down like that. And we don't see the inside of that one. Now a bunny is very furry, so let's go ahead and add some fur as we're drawing. We don't have to do fur all over it, but we want to give the illusion of some fur. So just a little bit back and forth like this. Same thing when you're doing the tail. You see, it's just sort of a zigzag line, and you don't have to do it everywhere. Just a little bit of a hint. And if you'd like, you can make his toes in here as well. Okay, this is his chest. This is a nice fuzzy chest, and we want to do the same sort of a thing. We want to see a little bit of fur here, and then his toes are tucked under here. We're just going to do hints of toes like this. And that one doesn't need one at all. And there's your bunny. Okay, when you go back in, you can go ahead and color in his eyes. I always like to put a little bit of a highlight in the eye, so I'm going to put a little circle right here. And when we color them in, I'm not going to color in that smaller circle because that's going to look like there's a little bit of light reflecting off of it. All right, let's go back with our ink pen now and finish them up. And just the way I've done with the fur on the bunny, we want to have the fuzz on our chick. And this is a little bit more difficult to achieve because really it's not fur, it's fuzz, and it's a little bit of different texture. So I'm going to go ahead and do in the details for his comb. Up here at the top, do his beak with those three little points on the one side of the triangle, and it's going to go in like that. And then we can do the eyes like this. And now here's the fuzzy part. You can just do lines if you want to, going around that circle that we created like that. That'll make them look a little bit fuzzy, and I would put just a little line underneath here so we can determine that that part is the head and the rest of his is going to be at the body. Now we're not going to go all the way around all of these ovals that we've created. We're just going to add a little bit those lines for his wing and continue on down to his legs like this. Do the same thing on the other side. Maybe just a little bit on the inside so we can see that that was his wing. And that's really all we're going to do for our fuzzy chick. I think he's looking pretty cute. Let's go ahead and draw in the lines for his toes. Like that. And there's our cute little fuzzy chick. Now, of course, the rest of it you're going to want to erase later on as soon as that ink is dry. Let's go ahead and do the bunny. I'm going to start with the head and go down like this to his mouth and around the sides like this, and go back and fill in. This is kind of a rounded section down here, but his nose is definitely a little triangle, and you can color that in if you'd like to. And then up to the ear. this. And like that. Now those are a little bit more cartoony than a normal bunny's ears, but I think it's kind of cute, so we're going to go with it. All right, and we're going to color in the eye over here and give him a few little eyelashes. And remember, this little highlight that we put in this eye, that's a part that we're not going to color. We're just going to leave that one open so it looks like there's a little bit of a reflection. All right, and let's go ahead and put the rest of the fuzz in for the chest and for his little bunny toes. And there for his back leg and his little bunny toes. And go around his back. Let's see, I think I do want to go around the entire thing and then have the tail sticking out from the back side. And there you have it. The rest of it is just going to be erasing. Make sure that your ink is dry before you erase, and then we'll see you tomorrow for our next episode.